Welcome to the scorching arena of valor and the crucible of courage. This is the Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Here, in the inferno of life's greatest challenges, heroes are shaped and legends are born. Every episode is a torchlight of wisdom, casting a glow on the paths walked by those who've braved the flames and emerged stronger. In this furnace of fortitude, we'll explore tales of resilience, bravery, and the unyielding human spirit. Each guest brings their own spark of insight, lighting up the darkness and guiding us through the smoke of adversity. With Fireman Rob at the helm, prepared to delve into conversations that smolder with significance and stories that kindle the soul. It's not just a podcast, it's a beacon for all who seek to rise from the ashes and glow with purpose. So stoke the fires of your curiosity and ready your heart for tales of triumph and transformation. The flames are roaring. The stage is ablaze. Welcome to the Forged in the Fires podcast. Let the journey begin.
All right, welcome back to Forged in the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. Today's guest, man, does he have some good stuff going on. He's got a great YouTube show. I'm not going to say the name because I have to say his name in a second here. You know, the best part about it is that, you know, it is so honest. It's truthful. It is pushing the boundaries. But if you're uncomfortable with the boundaries, maybe you should listen to this guy to change your mind and push yourself to that next level. Well, let's just get on with it. Nico Lagan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's our third try. Now we're making it happen. So yeah, you have to stop being so helpful to others and stick to your schedule.
I know.
Stop helping people. Stop it. Stop being a good man. That's really annoying.
I know. It's my problem. It's my problem. It's the bane of my existence.
Yeah, but man, you know, I say this all the time, but I'm going to repeat it for the millionth time. Men are meant to serve.
Yeah.
So this is why, although you canceled twice on me, it wasn't. I totally understand why. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
It seemed, you know, it really came through as being honest and authentic.
Thank you.
I had no doubt, and I can tell you, like, since my content is always a bit interesting for most people, I get people cancel on me all the time. And
really?
oh yeah, and last minute too. And no, but you know, I added something, and it's interesting because I have recorded about 70-ish podcasts in the past 3 months as a guest, and I will say that probably 15-ish canceled on me last minute, or didn't show up at all. Yeah, and
it's bad.
Yeah, to a point now that this week I actually added on my profile. I'm like, go check my content.
Oh, I'll have to
if
check
you're
it
gonna
out.
If you're, oh yeah, well, I'm that type of guy. Hold on. I wrote it in a way that it was still polite, but
it was politely honest.
Yeah, hold on. Please take the time to review my content before inviting me on your podcast. Many have wasted my time by canceling last minute. I only ask that you respect both our time.
Yeah.
Exclamation point.
Was it 2 exclamation points or just 1?
No, just 1. But I couldn't find that emoji. I could have simply, I could have. No, I wouldn't. I'm not.
You should have just put the smiley face afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, you know, I respect people's time, so I expect people to risk. You know, that's my mistake. At the end of the day, it comes down to me because I'm the one that expects a lot of myself, so I expect a lot of people.
Yeah, but that's good though. That's good though.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, but you don't want to change who you are though.
I never will be. I never will. You know, I have a lot of faith in people. I have a lot of trust in people. I want to care for people. I will, you know, I was telling that to my girlfriend this week, where I'm the type of guy, if you need help and you ask me to bring a shovel, I'll bring a shovel. We all know what that means. And
exactly.
But man, it's hard to find people like that. Like, in exchange to me being the way that I am, I don't know that I can name one person right now in my life that I would be convinced that if I called them and I said, hey, bro, I need you now, bring a shovel, that they wouldn't just ask questions or just not do it because they don't know what it's about, that they would just say, you know what, brother, no problem, where am I meeting you?
Yeah, there's a good country song that I can't remember. There's like 5 collaborations.
That should never be in the same phrase. Good and country song. Like, how's that pot? No, I'm just kidding. I actually,
it's an oxymoron.
exactly.
I didn't call you an oxymoron. I just called it an oxymoron.
No, normally people will call me a moron. There's no oxy in front of it. And it's okay. I get called names every day, man. If you saw the comments I get every day, it's amazing that I laugh at it now, because it wasn't like that.
I have to ask you though, when you started it out, right? When you had the idea of putting together your show and having it be something that's you have I love how you have thought-provoking. Well, it's thought-provoking, but it's also it brings an emotion. And that's what we need in conversations. We have to have an emotion behind it. Tell me more about the first time you started that, and what was the original premise behind it?
It did not start like that. The name of my original podcast, and I swear to you this is true, it was called Relax, Just Love. That's the name of my podcast.
Seriously?
I swear to you, I have a...
Is there any episodes in the existing on that?
Yeah, probably, if you go far enough. Yeah, I used to do a podcast that was more like Joe Rogan style.
Okay.
Like, I know, I'm a sales guy. Like, I was a sales engineer for more than a decade, so I meet people all the time. I used to train people. I used to fight, so I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I know people that are world renowned. I know people that are from all steps of life. And again, I'm a sales guy, so I've approached people I don't know, just say, hey, bro, I find you very interesting. I'd love to record a podcast with you. Yeah. And surprisingly, when you approach people the right way, they do tend to respond to you. So I've recorded some episodes with some really known people, and it was nothing. I had no intentions. I had nothing. I was coming in there just let's have a conversation with someone and see where it goes. I never did research for my episodes. Like in those types of episodes, I wouldn't. But eventually it just, a few years back, I got my first video that went viral. And it was a video I had made with one of my buddies. And it was about what was happening in Canada a few years back during the pandemic.
Yep.
And we were just giving our honest opinion. And I'm kind of an ass, right? Like, I'm very good at being one. Like, and I embrace that role extremely well. I am kind of an ass in real life. I love to troll people. If you come to my page and you start trying to sound cool with me and insult me, I'll troll you. And I'm way better than you are at it. If you're coming to my page thinking that you can troll me, often I won't respond because I just don't have the time to respond to absolutely every comment. But if I do have time, I do love to engage trolls.
Yeah.
So we did a video, and when the video went out, it probably gathered something crazy. Like, I'd say like 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 views. And I barely had 1,000 followers back then. And
nice.
I started looking at the comments and I'm like, oof. This is not the type of reaction I thought this would create. Because now you had people from both sides of the spectrum insulting each other. So the comment section really became a war between two groups, two ideologies, basically.
Right.
And that was not the intent. The video was targeted at the government directly. We were not talking to people. We were talking about government policies. We were stating bills. My buddy and I are extremely researched. So we really did it in a way that it was supposed to talk at the government directly and say what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
But then people always, I represent that part, but all that crap. Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's me. You're talking at me.
And after that, I'm like, I completely stopped doing those type of videos. That's why I went in an approach, like, I'll just do it like in a relax, just love type of situation where relax, just love, like just relax, right? But then it eventually changed into what it is right now, because when you create content, you have to build a brand. When I became more aware of branding over the past couple of years, I became more aware of how important it is to have a name that's recognizable. You always use the same name, so a Nico Lagan show just makes sense. It's my name. I don't need to tell you what my name is. It's directly in the show. But yeah, it just it never really changed in a way that I still like to talk to people. I
Yeah.
record less and less podcasts right now because they're so time consuming. I do everything in person. Like
Oh,
I
that's
don't
awesome.
like to do recording or like we're doing right now. No disrespect
Yeah.
to you, but this is
No,
not, I think something is lost.
I took it disrespectful, but whatever.
I don't care. That's your feelings are not my problem, right?
My
Uh,
feelings.
yeah, your feelings are your problem, not mine. But something's lost in translation when you're not face to face. Like you and I, face to face, we have a drink, we're smoking a cigar. It's way like the
Yeah,
conversation tends to go to places that it would never go in the situation in which we
that's
are right
true.
now. So I always taken the time to go to see people, to travel, like to record a podcast. I could have had 8 hours just of time in it. There's no editing done at all. Just packing my stuff, showing, installing the stuff takes about an hour and a half. We sit
Yep.
down for an hour podcast. I have to undo everything, pack it in my car, and drive back where the hell I came from. So, and as we like
Yeah.
I've been traveling for 14 months now. Like we've traveled between the US and Mexico in an RV over the past 14 months. And
Oh, that's awesome.
well, this is an RV, right? Where we are right now. This is the back of the RV. Like I
Seriously.
turned it into,
And you got
yeah,
a
I turned it
Christmas
into,
tree in there?
we don't have a lot of space. That's the only space we got for to put the Christmas tree is there.
But that's
But
awesome.
normally it's not there, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, this is the back of this is a bed up there that I use for storage. My desk is on a bed that I elevated,
No kidding.
and I turned it into a recording studio, which I probably recorded 150 podcasts from where I am right now.
And so are you
And
traveling across the country finding people that you want to talk to, and or did you pre kind of load where you're going to go?
no, it
Nothing.
was you know March 2020. I was still a sales engineer working in the corporate world, and the pandemic happened, and
Yeah.
where I'm from, the restrictions were absolutely brutal. So we weren't able to meet people in person anymore. So I
Yeah.
basically put the suit away, and everything would be done online. Like we would have I would still do 4 or 5 meetings a day, but they wouldn't be in person anymore.
Right.
So I decided to get rid of my place in the city because the only reason I was there is because of my customers were there. And I had an investment house in the middle of nowhere, like think log house, like the most Canadian thing you can think of. Log house, middle of the woods, top of a mountain. No,
Don't you know?
I'm not even I'm not even kidding. And I ended up moving there and staying there for 2.5 years. Like the
Really?
closest grocery store was about 30 minutes. And 30 minutes, I think there is one light. There is one
Like traffic
light
light?
between. Yeah, there's only one, and it's right next to the grocery store. So it's all country road. Like when I say half an hour, people are like,
Wow.
yeah, but that's not far. No, hold on. You're
No.
thinking traffic, you're
Yeah.
thinking light after light. I'm talking you're
Like
driving
30
90
minutes. Yeah.
kilometers, or let's say 60 kilometers an hour, basically the
Yeah.
whole way, 60, 50 miles per hour to get there. So,
Wow.
but it gave me a lot of perspective,
I was
right?
going to say it had to. It
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
just being by
absolutely.
yourself.
Yeah, this is where everything I'm doing now stemmed from. But it
Wow.
was always done through what I called back then instincts. I do
Yeah.
everything on instinct. I called it instinct. Over the past year, I've discovered that it wasn't instinct. It was God talking to me, and I was just listening.
Yeah.
So
Finally.
that's probably what he's been wondering. Like, what the hell do I have to do
He's like, seriously,
in
are you
order for you
deaf?
to understand? Exactly. I've always listened. I just never understood. I
But
never really put one and one together to say this is God speaking to me.
yeah.
And for the past since March 2020, so it's going to be 4 years now, I have lived a life that is not normal,
Yeah.
that most people could not even begin to understand. And we left Canada in September 2022.
Yeah.
And we've been traveling ever since. We've probably traveled 15 to 20,000 miles as I was pulling the travel trailer. So I had my motorcycle in the bed of the truck, and I was hauling an 11,000 pound monster behind the truck. And we've been from New York State all the way to San Bernardino in California, Yuma. We went over to Mexico.
Wow.
We literally went New York State all the way down. We went to Virginia, Tennessee, Texas, all the way west. We went all the way up to Colorado, then all the way east, all the
Wow.
way back to North Carolina. Now we are in Alabama,
Okay.
Athens, Alabama. We've been here for a few months now, and
Wow.
yeah, man,
That's awesome.
yeah. But if I told you that the only spot that I wanted that we knew we were going before we left was Virginia, because my mentor is there, and this is
That
the
was the
first
only
place
spot.
within the first week of us leaving, we were in Virginia. That
Wow.
is the only spot we planned.
Everything
All
else
the
was just,
rest, faith, 100% faith. I've been
that's
invited.
amazing.
I went, but you know what's amazing? The most amazing thing is that I was 100% right to listen, because I can tell you every single place we stopped,
Yeah.
there was a reason. In hindsight, like looking back now, I can tell you that we went to see my mentor in Virginia, because obviously he's my mentor. Like he's probably the guy I respect the most on this planet.
Yeah.
And but then he's a Christian. So he brought me, because I'd never been to church. I had
Really?
been maybe 5 times to church prior to 14 months ago in my whole life. I was not brought
Okay.
up Christian. I was baptized because it
Yeah.
used to be Catholic where I'm from. So it was something that you did. But my mom was never religious at all, like zero.
Zero.
We never talked about God. Never,
Yeah.
not once. I never had that conversation with my mother. To this day, I've never talked about God to my mother. And
Wow.
him bringing us to church, he brought my girlfriend and I, and we don't like this church, but I think it's something that we should start doing.
Yeah.
And it literally, that single day, that Sunday, started my faith journey into Christianity.
Wow. That's
Just
Sunday.
because because he brought us there. Yeah. I'm very, one thing that I've always done, and I'm happy that I keep on doing it, although it's not easy.
Yeah.
I've always listened to what God's telling me. I've never debated with him. I've never tried to say, no, I'm not going to do it. I really take it at face value to say that I trust him. I have
Yeah.
100% faith in him, and I just do it. I don't ask questions anymore. And
That's
I'm blessed because my girlfriend has faith in me.
huh, that's
It,
huge.
but this is how it should be, right? There's a reason
Yeah.
why I'm with her. Like, we met later on in life. Like, I'm 41 years old. She's 35.
Mhm.
We want to have kids.
Yeah.
But we met later on in life, right? I've done a lot of testing. I've done a lot of research.
Research. That's what it was.
But
you're like the MIT of research in this.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm doing it for the cause.
Yes.
I was doing it just for the cause. I found no pleasure. It was just for the cause. But
The paper will be coming out soon.
That's it. When am I getting paid for my service rendered?
That's the opposite way.
It's just that it's interesting when you decide to let go.
Yeah.
You decide that you don't know. You decide that, I used to have all the goals in the world. I used to have everything printed. I would know exactly what I was doing, what the steps are to get there. And this is how I went from being a high school dropout to selling $1 million contract within the span of 8 years, give or take.
Wow.
So, but now for the past year, I've had no plans. I've really been at the mercy of God just to say, tell me where we're going next, or how long are we staying here? I don't know. We're staying here because my heart's telling me that we're supposed to be here. The day that the day that something's telling me we need to go somewhere else, well, we'll go somewhere else. And
are you able to have like that faith? Because I always talk about faith over fear. Is that
100%.
that faith? Is that faith in yourself too? Like, is that do you have that same faith that you have in your God and God? Do you have that faith in yourself to be able to rely on what you're saying and what you're doing?
It's an interesting question, because I used to define, and I've been pondering this a lot. Like, I'm writing my second book right now, and it's on the 5 virtues of a good man: courage, protection, providing, temperance, and faith.
Yeah.
And, I've defined faith quite often as 3 different things. Like, forget the religious portion of it and replace faith by belief.
Yeah. Okay.
So in order to create in order to build self-confidence, you need to first believe that you're capable of achieving whatever you put your mind to. If to create to have a meaningful relationship with someone, you first need to believe that they are the person they say they are.
Right.
And in order to find life purpose, to find the reason why you're here, you first need to believe that you have a reason to be here, that you were created for a specific task.
Right.
This is how I've defined faith, especially for people that are not religious, just to put it into context, to say that faith is everywhere.
Yeah.
You everybody believes in something. No matter if you don't, even if you don't understand what you're doing,
Yeah.
everybody has faith in something. So yes, I have a lot of self-confidence. It's unmovable.
That's huge.
What I can accomplish, like if I was having a conversation with a guy a couple of days ago where we recorded a podcast and we had another call and we just talked, and I couldn't believe the stuff that was coming out of my mouth. I'm like, man, why am I admitting to this? No, but it sounds absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
If you knew exactly what's going on in my mind, if you knew why I do what I do, it will sound absolutely nuts.
But that's
people.
That's not my purpose, right? That's kind of like what you go back to.
But people will think, and I don't really care. Like, obviously, you see the type of content I create. I really don't care if you think of me. Whatever you think of me is, I can't change the way you think of me, and I'm not going to try either.
Right.
But it is, I don't know. I'm going to have to ponder your question further, but to answer it right now, I would say that it has shifted from having faith in my abilities to having faith in God that he will never give me something that I cannot handle.
Yeah.
And the reason I can handle it is because he's told me to.
Yeah.
I do it because he's giving me the strength to do it. So is it self-confidence? I got to tell you, I've never been asked that question. I haven't been asked that question since I've really pondered my faith. And I would have to say right now that my perspective has completely changed, that if I'm called to do something, I'm not doing it because I believe in my abilities. I do it because I know I can, because God is asking me to do it.
Right.
And I have faith in him. So is it self-confidence or is it just faith? To me, it just sounds like it's faith.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost twofold, because you have that word courage that you use as well.
Yep.
Because it's the courage to have faith that can push you forward, right?
You're bang on. And this is, it's interesting you say that, because about a month ago, I approached the pastor here that I see all the time. And I'm like, hey, bro, you got to tell me something. And yes, I call him bro. Like I call everybody bro. I swear in church. Like I swear last Sunday we're talking and and he knows exactly. We've recorded some stuff together. So he knows exactly the type of guy he's talking to. And I'm like, oh, sorry. He's like, he doesn't care. He's just smiling. It's just the type of person that I am. And I asked him, I'm like, hey man, I've been pondering this for a while now. Does courage come before faith, or is it faith that comes before courage? And you know what? He looked at me, and we're talking about a pastor that's been in it for 25 years. He was a youth pastor. He's been to the seminary. Like, this is all he's done his whole life. And he's from Texas. So he's very Bible Belt. Like, he's a Bible stumper, if you will, right? And he looks at me. He's like, man, I don't know. And I look at him and I'm like, the more I ponder it, the more I read Lee Strobel, C.S. Lewis, the more I read Tim Keller, I'm like, I think that today, in order to have faith, you need to have courage first, because you need courage these days. It is not something that men possess by default anymore.
No.
Because if you read C.S. Lewis and you understand the context in which he was preaching, this guy was preaching during the First and the Second World War. He especially started his radio show during the First World War, and he was speaking to soldiers. So right then and there, those men were courageous.
Right.
You did not have to talk about courage to those guys. They enlisted to go fight a monster
overseas.
They could have literally did nothing and it would have been so. Those guys were courageous. Those guys understood that they need to provide for their family and even more protect them. They understood that men need to serve.
Yeah.
So for them, everything was based on faith because courage is already pre-existing. It's not something. Yeah. But if you read Tim Keller, that was more in the 90s, the 2000s, a guy that started a church, the Redeemer in Manhattan, of all freaking places, and grew it to a 6,000 people attendance that has, I think, 8 sister church that actually got created. No, wow. Tim Keller is, I don't know if you read Tim Keller, but he's blowing my mind. Like I was just reading him just before I jumped on this podcast. He was recommended by the pastor. He's blowing my mind.
I'll have to read that.
He speaks more. It really relates to me because the content I create, I'm trying to talk to broken men. I'm trying to introduce principles like my 5 virtues of a good man in a way that it's not preachy, in a way that I can say, you know what, bro? I was a drug addict. I sold drugs. I was not a good person. I was a thief. I was a thug. I hurt a lot of people around me. I was not a good person. And I understand you. Some of my friends ended up in jail. Some of my friends ended up dead. So I understand where you're coming from with this. I'm not a goody two-shoe Christian that's been in it my whole life. I've literally been in it for a year and a half type of deal. Like I discovered God 3 years ago and I'm making sense of it now. Because that's all I'm reading about. That is all I'm reading about right now. And I'm trying to explain that to them to say, you know what? If this is how you feel, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I asked a question this week. I asked, do atheists not believe in God? Or do they not want to believe in God? A lot of people came back to me and there's like, are you retarded? Like, this is the same, you're asking the same question. I'm like,
not really.
If you don't understand the nuance between not believing in God and not wanting to believe in God, the retard ain't me, bro. I'm just saying. So, but as I'm explaining it, I started to realize that I have been through those stages. Because if you look at an atheist that don't believe in God, that can simply be because he's never been challenged. His faith has never been challenged. His belief has never been challenged. He's never been so far down the rabbit hole or hit rock bottom that he asked himself the question, what do I believe in? So I believe that a lot of atheists are atheists out of ignorance, not because they're idiots, just because they've never asked themselves that. Exactly. They've never asked themselves and pondered, really, what is God? Do I believe in a creator? If I believe in a creator, this is the second step. When you start thinking about it, okay, you're like, well, I don't know. Let me ask myself the question. Do I believe in a creator? And then you start looking at what it means. If you believe in a Christian God, it ain't going to be easy, bro. You need to be accountable. You have responsibilities. You're supposed to do something. You're not just going to be given access to heaven, although Jesus Christ died for your sins. You owe something. So this is why I say that the second step is I don't want to believe in God because that's too much.
That's too much.
That means that my whole life needs to change. That means I need to start seeing the world in a completely different manner.
Yeah.
And this is what I was thinking when I asked the question. But 99% of people don't understand what I'm asking. But then if I look at my life, I was somebody that did not know because I never experienced it. Then I started believing in God, but I was a big fan of Buddhism. I still am. I like the theology behind it, but the more I dig into Christianity, the more I realize that Buddhism is too easy because you're trying to disconnect from your feelings. You try to be so disconnected from your feelings that you become enlightened. They do not hold you down anymore because they don't matter. You're capable of just being without worrying about anything else except you at this moment. So I realized recently, and we're talking a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, man, Buddhists are selfish. All they care about is their enlightenment.
Their enlightenment.
They want to disconnect themselves from the world in a way that They are enlightened. Not we are enlightened. They are enlightened. And the more I look at the Christian gospel, I start realizing that throughout the Bible, God will hurt you on purpose. He will hurt
Right.
you. Why? Because pain and suffering are the greatest of teachers.
Yeah.
He knows that by you hitting rock bottom, you will realize what really matters. You will realize that you've never been alone. You'll realize that there's always been somebody in the back end that's been conspiring to make you better, but you need to embrace him first. You need to accept the fact that he did do that out of love, not out of spite, not out of hate. He did it because he loves you, and he knows that we're absolutely stupid, and we don't learn when things are going well. We learn when shit hits the fan. So he makes this on purpose to build us to become better. The more you suffer, the more you have a chance to evolve. The more you evolve, the less selfish you become, because you start having more compassion for others. You start seeing others hurting, and you're like, yep, I've been there. I know what it feels like, brother, and I'm here for you if you need me. How more beautiful can that be?
There's so many things to unpack in that. One of the things that I wanted to unpack is when you were talking earlier, and it was so profound to me to think of how that question that you posed, because it almost is exactly what is going on in society today, is not being able to understand that question of, are you do you believe in a God or do you not want to? It's that the what do you call it, tolerance. It's like that tolerance conversation that we never have anymore, because somebody doesn't want to listen to the other point to understand where that person is coming from. You don't have to agree with them. And that's exactly like what you're saying with your show. It's perfect, because it's like, you don't have to agree with me, but this is what I believe. And if you listen to it and then you have a different opinion, you have a broader idea of what's going on. It was so perfectly put by you. Like, that question is truly what is actually going on right now everywhere, not just in the faith, but in everywhere, isn't it?
It all comes down to accountability.
Yeah.
Everything you see around you stems from a lack of accountability. Every single problem you see out there comes from a lack of responsibility, a lack of accountability.
Yeah.
It's all on us.
Yeah.
It is 100% on us to be accountable for our actions, to realize that we're not that great of people, to realize that we've done a lot of bad. And I know exactly how it feels. It is not a pleasant sight to look at look at yourself in the mirror for the first time, to admit that you are an asshole, that you have been a bad person, that you've been selfish.
Yeah.
And to accept the fact that you need to do something about it. It's not enough to be aware. This is the problem. Right. This is the biggest problem. This is why I think that people don't want to believe in God, because now you're aware. Now you're
aware
like,
of the issue.
You're like, you're aware that you are the issue. Yeah, absolutely, you're aware. But that means that somebody holds you accountable. God holds you accountable.
What do you think that first step is, though, to, like, if somebody's bottom. Listening, hit rock bottom?
Hit rock bottom. Nobody ever changes if it's not for hitting rock bottom. Like, I can tell you in all openness right now, I'm not in a good spot. Right now, it's the toughest spot of my life. I literally left an extremely lucrative job as a sales engineer. I refinanced my house, took all the equity out, and decided to start a business.
Yeah.
And I decided to buy myself a year to say, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with this, but I want to have enough money to go places that I will feel the need I need to go to.
Huh.
And this is all I've been doing over the past 14 months, is going wherever I'm being told to go.
Is that courage or faith?
Stupidity, maybe? I don't know.
I didn't give you a third option. What the hell?
Ignorance is bliss, right? It's a fair question. It's a very, very fair question, because what is I think it's both.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's really I have the courage to have faith.
Yeah. I love this conversation about this because it's so I think a lot of people don't understand those two words to the extent of living them and not just saying them.
But that's what most people do today.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's very hard to, one thing I've noticed, and this is probably, and again, I was talking about this with my girlfriend because it has been very heavy on me recently, where the more I chase after my purpose, the more I do what God tells me to do, the more I completely dedicate myself to what I'm supposed to be doing, the lonelier I become.
Huh.
The less people are around me, the
That's
less people want to be around me. Because when you're doing what you were meant to do, however hard it is, it's going to be hard. There's no question about this. It's going to be extremely hard.
right.
But the thing is that you expose other people.
Yeah.
You start exposing to other people that they're weak. You literally are inadvertently, like without doing it on purpose, you're basically showing other people that they are weak, that you choose to be a coward. You choose to do nothing, although it is eating at your soul.
Right.
You choose to be weak. It is a choice that you make every day, just like loving your partner. It is a
Yeah.
choice you make every fucking day of your life. You choose
Yeah.
to love your wife. You choose to love your girlfriend. You choose to love your husband. It is a choice. I
Right.
choose God.
Yeah.
And that's a choice I make every day. This is a choice I make every day, multiple times a day. And this is not good on people. Like, if you look at it, people don't want to hear that. Because that means it's your fault. If your life sucks, it's your fault.
Right. That's
And
crazy. Yeah, I love it though. I mean, everything that you're saying, I love that. The quote that you have on your website, nicolagan.com,
yep,
without purpose, a man's life is meaningless.
yep.
That's
It's
so
actually,
Go ahead.
can you believe I actually created that? I can't believe sometimes that it came up to me, but yeah, it says everything.
It says everything about it, about what we've been talking about who you are.
Yeah.
And that purpose is something that, like you said, 99 out of the 100 people are not going to be able to tell you that.
They're not. You know what? I don't know that is true. I think this is something that we all have. It's all something we're aware of. It's just we don't have the balls to go after it.
Yeah.
We don't have the balls to say, I'm not going to do this because it's too hard, because of the implications of what it means.
Yeah.
And this goes back to my question about atheists.
Yeah.
You don't want to believe because it's too hard. Because if there is an intelligent creator behind everything,
right,
that means you owe him something.
Yeah.
That means you're supposed to be doing something better than what you're doing right now. You're supposed to dedicate your life to what he's telling you to do, no matter the implications, no matter what it means, no matter how hard it's going to be. Because I can tell you, it is not easy.
Yeah.
I do not, if I wanted the easy way out, I could have taken that money that I took out my investments, bought 4 other houses, renovated them myself because I've done multiple renos before. And by now I could be making 300 grand a year and sitting on 4, 5, 6 other houses. By now, in the last year and a half, I would have continued working. I could have bought another couple of houses. I lived in very frugally. Like, I did not have an expensive lifestyle. So I could have done so much of what people would see as success. Instead, I decided to burn through all that money in search of what I was supposed to do, to travel the continent almost and figuring out what I'm supposed to do, living in a trailer with my girlfriend and something that was the size of, it's not even 10 feet wide by 30 feet, right? We're living 2 people with a dog in here. So, and instead, I chose a life of being broke and building a business on top of it.
Wow.
So all my money is going to my business. 100% of my money is going. But at the same time, like my girlfriend and I this year are not buying each other anything for Christmas, but we did spend money on charity to help kids
Jeez.
not have the kids that can't.
Yeah.
We picked a kid, 14 years old, that really caught me in the heart, and we're like, we bought him some gifts.
That's awesome.
But at the end of the day, I would never go back to. I would rather be in the state that I am right now,
Yeah.
where everything has been stripped bare. All I do of my days, man, is I finish the course I'm writing. I do podcasts to put the word out there, and I create content. That's all I do now.
That's
I
awesome.
do this day in, day out, 7 days a week. I haven't had a break in 4 years. I've been working 90 to 120 hours a week for 4.5 something years now. No, it's going to be 4 years. Sorry. It's going to be 4 years and 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And I would not trade that for anything in the world. I would not go back to the life that I had before, because everything that I'm doing, I am seeing it work. I'm seeing the comments that I get every day. I'm seeing just the way I feel about things, the people that I meet every day, the people that God puts on my path.
Yeah.
Just that is worth everything to me.
That's success.
It's freedom.
Yeah.
It's a form of freedom. And yes, success. Money doesn't mean much to me. I just need enough money to continue doing what I'm doing. Money matters more so that my girlfriend is comfortable and we can finally have kids. That's it. But outside of that, to me, money, I don't really care about money. Just make sure I have equipment, that my laptop works, so that I can continue working, that
Right.
I have the cameras that I need to record. And outside of that, I don't really care.
Dude,
Don't
I
matter
love
to
it.
me. I like cars. I like motorcycles though.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't care about houses. I don't care about cars. I don't care about, give me a $15,000 Harley and
You're golden.
I don't need, oh, fuck, I don't need anything else. I'm good. I'm good.
I love it. Nico, this has been an awesome conversation. I so greatly appreciate your time. And I always end with 3 questions. Are you ready for these 3?
How much time you got? Because your questions are always long. I'm always going to give you a long answer.
I love it. I don't care.
Oh, well,
if you could go, all right, if you could go back to your 18-year-old self and give yourself one piece of advice, what's that going to be?
I would just smack myself in the back of the head. That's how I learned, man.
That's my best answer ever.
I'm really, I don't know, but I've done videos on exactly that. It was my 14-year-old self, but
yeah,
right now I'd smack myself in the back of the head and just say, you'll get it. You'll understand, you little shit.
Soon enough. Soon enough.
There you go. Yeah, that's it. That's for the future. That's what you've done, and that's for what you're gonna do. Pow, done.
So it'll be twice. All right. So the second,
I got big hands. It's just
it'll do the whole thing.
It's the coil back. It's pop. Gotta bring it back too.
All right. The second one. Everybody has challenges and struggles that they're going through in their lives. If you could give them 2 habits that they can incorporate into their daily life to continue to move forward, to continue to find that purpose, what would those 2 habits be?
Build confidence. Build the balls to stand up for what you believe in. And you're the perfect example. This doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go in burning buildings and save little kids and families. This means that when somebody says something that goes against your values or wants you to do something that doesn't align with your values, stand up and speak up.
Yeah.
If you have an opinion that somebody is not listening to, speak up. If your family is, men are supposed to lead. If you're not the head of your family, you're a coward. This is your job. Your woman expects you to be the leader. Women want to be led. This doesn't mean they're your servants. Right. It just means women live. Feminine energy resides in emotion. Masculine energy resides in logic. Who do you want to take decisions? Somebody that is logical, not somebody that is emotional. So it is up to the man to lead. And often you need to lead towards God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the 2 things I would say. Men, grow a fucking pair of balls and be the leader your family needs, be the leader your community needs, because at the end of the day, men are supposed to serve. And the second thing I'm going to tell you is stop saying that life isn't fair. It is hard to be a man. It is a lot harder to be a man than it is to be a woman. There's no doubt about that. Life isn't fair. Your life is supposed to be in servitude. Do you honestly think I enjoy suffering? I don't.
Right.
I just learned to embrace it.
Right.
So that's the second thing I'm telling you. Learn to embrace pain.
That.
Don't run away from pain.
Yeah.
Reflect on it, meditate on it, try to understand what you're supposed to learn from that pain. Because pain and suffering are the best teachers on this planet. No,
That's
hands
so
down,
true.
no questions about it.
So true. So true. This last one is, I have no idea where you're going to pick on this one. So if you could have, coffee at a firehouse table. So in other words, no questions are off the table and you're going to get answers with 3 people and they can be deceased or alive. Who are those 3 people going to be?
Easy. Jesus Christ, Nikola Tesla, Carl Jung. And I want them all there at the same time too.
I love that. Oh, they're all there at the same time.
Yeah, and maybe we can do ayahuasca together, maybe drop some mushrooms and explore the universe with our minds. Let's pop some mushrooms with Jesus Christ. There you go.
That is the best way to finish this. Nico, it has been such an honor to have you on, man. And make sure you go to NicoLagan.com. You can also find him same name, same channel on YouTube and watch his show. If you are sensitive, just what do you want to tell them? If they're sensitive,
I don't really give a fuck if you're sensitive. Just don't listen to me.
Just be open to hearing conversations.
Or question
that's the
me.
big thing.
No, engage with me.
Yeah, there you go.
Engage with me. If you don't agree with me, engage with me. I'll engage with you. I absolutely. If you're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to you. Maybe we can change each other's mind. Maybe you have something to teach me. Maybe I have something to teach you.
I love it. Well, hey, it's been an honor, man. You keep doing your journey, and I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on, brother.
No problem.
Thanks for listening and supporting the Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. And please share this episode with a friend or family member. To find out more about Fireman Rob, or if you have a question, go to www.firemanrob.com. Until next time, live your life forged in the fires.